Welcome back to Say No To Lashon Hara, day 33. Oftentimes when people are speaking Lashon Hara, it's not just the relating over of facts and figures, things that happened. People feel like they need to go one step further. They need to not only tell you what happened, but also why they think that happened. Why did the person act that way? Why did they do that thing that I'm telling you is wrong? You know why? You got to meet the parents. The parents, they're the worst. Oh, you don't understand. Her friends, low lives. So in each scenario, we're not allowing ourselves to only say Lashon Hara. We're also then interpreting that Lashon Hara and expressing it by talking about the background of that person. So there's two different ways that this goes. One way is where it's an obvious negative. So as an example, the parents, they're crazy. That's why this girl is all over the place. That's what she learned at home. So you're defining and expressing the negative talk by blaming it on past, on other people that come from the family. The Torah says that that's not allowed. We're not allowed to talk about the past mistakes of a person, the averot of that person, or of their family members before this time. So a person would not be allowed to talk straight negative about the person's past, and that is obviously pretty straightforward. But what's interesting is that it goes really one step further. What if it's not straight up negative? What if, as an example, you say, this person, oh my gosh, since she converted, she became a better Jew than anyone else in the whole community. You're mentioning the fact that she was once a convert. You're mentioning the fact that this person, who's now so much better, once used to not be as good. So that compliment that you're paying them, even by the way, if you intend it to be a positive thing, it actually sheds light on a negative element in their past. And for some people, that's enough to be able to walk away from potential shidduch or a potential acceptance for that kid in a school or whatever the case might be. So sharing information about a person's past is forbidden. Sharing information about a person's past, even if you mean it in a positive way, is forbidden, because you don't know how it's going to be received. And sometimes the way we judge if words are negative is not by the negative value on the surface, but how someone might take that comment. Obviously, there are some scenarios where a person would need to disclose some past information. So as an example, let's say a person is coming to ask you about a certain boy for a shidduch, and you know that this boy was a drug addict 3 months ago. You might think to yourself, oh, I can't talk about his past, but that information that you have has a direct impact now on the person's marriage. So they might need to know that information. If it's a health issue, emotional stability issue, an anger issue, a violence issue, all these types of things, a person is not allowed to keep to themselves. Now they have to know exactly how to relate it and what to relate and how much to relate. And for that, we'll kind of delve into it in future recordings. The last thing to say is that what's amazing about the way the Torah sees a person is that we judge the person as they are in the current moment. That's how Hashem looks at a person. Hashem doesn't say, look at where they came from, let me see their backstory. God judges a person on their present level. And it's also the way he judges us. So long as we've done teshuvah and left our past behind us, Hashem says, let's let bygones be bygones. And if that's good enough for HaKadosh Baruch Hu, for God himself, shouldn't it be good enough for us?